Science. Trigonometry. What do all these fantastic things have in common? Not a clue. But I'm gonna find out. There's something there. I talk a lot about, science backs me up, blah blah blah, when it comes to being transgender. Am I talking out of my ass? Probably. But there's something there, okay? I want to find out for myself the actual science behind being transgender. I want to find out what science and biology and all that good stuff have to say about me, about my predicament, about the way I am, and the many others out there. Are we really just full of shit? Just delusional? Or is there actually something there? Is there a reason that we are this way? Don't know, but I'm about to find out. So stick around, because it's about to get scientific up in this biatch.
What the hell is this bullshit? Science my ass. I'm sorry, but you'll never be a woman.
Thank you, sweetie. Well, YNBAWXQFZT to you too. Good evening, everybody. I am Patricia, Elise, the science bitch, and let's get to work. So, I asked the one source that we can always rely on, AI. I went and asked Google, whatever it's called, Gemini or whatever, what does science have to say about being transgender, and this is what I got. So what does science say about being trans? It says, scientific consensus views being trans as a natural variation of human diversity. No single cause, but a complex interplay of biological, genetic, and environmental factors. Biological and genetic factors. Research suggests that gender identity has a significant biological component. Wow, see, I didn't know any of this right here. Neuroimaging studies have found that the brain anatomy of trans individuals aligns more closely with their gender identity than their sex assigned at birth. Okay, one leading theory suggests that gender identity is influenced by hormone levels during critical periods of fetal brain development. So basically when you're in the womb, I think is what it's saying. Because the brain and genitals differentiate at different times during pregnancy, it is possible for them to follow different paths. Twin and family studies indicate a genetic link to gender identity. Some studies have identified specific variations in genes related to sex hormones, signaling that are more common in transgender populations. Okay, so it's genetic basically? Okay, here we go. Psychological and medical consensus. Major medical organizations, including the American Psychological Association and the American Psychiatric Association, emphasize that being trans is not a mental illness. There you go. See, I told you guys, I didn't think it was a mental illness. Gender dysphoria. I have that really bad. It's not being trans is not a disorder, but some individuals experience gender dysphoria. This is another thing that I was talking about on my last video. Regret rates. Research indicates that regret following medical transition is extremely rare. I knew it. Typically estimated at 1% or less. See, I mean, I've been saying that for a while. Okay, all you haters, listen close. Sex versus gender. Science distinguishes between sex and gender. So yes, gender and sex are separate. According to science, sex is biological attributes such as chromosomes and genitals, what you were born as, and gender, the social and internal sense of being a man, woman, or other identity. So yes, they are separate pretty much, but to a certain extent anyways. I mean, they're linked, but they're still not always one and the same. Sexual orientation. Being trans refers to gender identity, which is distinct from sexual orientation. Duh. I mean, who the hell thinks that? Now, I asked it a different question. What about changing sex or gender? Does science back me up when I claim that people can change their sex and or gender? Scientific understanding of, quote, changing sex depends on whether you define sex by genetics, anatomy, or physiology, because biology is multi-layered. There isn't a single yes or no answer. different components of sex change in different ways during transition. Okay, I mean, that makes sense. That's kind of what I've been saying too. Now, can biological sex be changed? From a scientific perspective, biological sex is a cluster of traits rather than a single fixed point. Some of these traits can be changed, while others cannot. That's exactly what I've been saying the whole time. Some things can't be changed, like genetics and chromosomes. And I've always said that. A person's born with set chromosomes, and they can't change those. What can change, though, is basically everything else. The physical characteristics. Basically, just about anything else you can change. Right here it says with HRT, surgery, and yada yada. Yeah, I mean, you're pretty much 95% of the way there, if not more. The hormones, you can take the hormones, you can change your hormones, you can get the surgery, just like you can, you pretty much you can do it. Can gender be changed? In science, gender identity is generally considered hardwired or immutable. Research suggests that for trans people, their gender identity is an internal biological reality. Wow, often rooted in brain structure that does not match their birth sex. Okay. Trans people do not change their gender, they align their bodies to match their gender they already have. Well, excuse my language, that's crazy. I never thought of it that way. Attempting to change someone's gender identity through conversion therapy is rejected by major medical bodies like the AMA. Wow, see, I didn't really ever think of it that way. This is actually really cool looking into it like this. I can't believe I haven't done this sooner. Well, better late than never, I suppose. Okay, let's keep moving on and on and on.
We're off to see the trainee, the wonderful trainee, the wonderful trainee, the wonderful trainee of Oz.
According to science, are these dickheads correct when they say men cannot be women? The answer depends on the definition being used. If defined by chromosomes, no. Okay, basically, yeah, you can't. So, but you know what? I've been saying that the whole time, so whatever. Defined by identity and physiology and pretty much everything else, yes. Basically is what it's saying here. Modern medical and psychological science, including the World Health Organization and the American Psychiatric Association, recognize trans women as women and trans men as men. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Well, actually it says, ultimately, science supports the claim that while you cannot change your genetic code, you can change your legal, social, hormonal, and everything else anatomical sex to live as the gender you identify with. Now, that is a mic drop, people. Thank you, good night. So, you see, whenever people say men cannot be women, they are right in a way, but this is my new thing, and you're going to hear it a lot if you watch my channel, because I'm going to be saying it a lot. No, men cannot be women, but they can become women. I love it. It's the truth. And that's what science has to say about it, really. So, you don't agree, then you're anti-science. Alright guys, that's all I got for tonight. I guess I'll see you all on the next one. Bye.